Tattoo artists of Reddit. What is the most fucked up thing you've tattooed? Tattooist here. The list is long, but the one that made me laugh the most that I've done is Willie Coyote's arm poking out of a dude's butt, holding a sign that said help. I put 667 on a dude's forehead for him. Neighbor of the beast. A dude who was a regular customer at an old job got a scorpion on one forearm and a tarantula on the other. Only their heads were replaced by Beavis and Butthead. Edit. The lines and details for the arachnid bodies were blown out a bit, and blurred. Beavis and Butthead were mostly intact. I used to work with a guy who had a tattoo on the side of his body that was a woman squatting over a pond full fire hydrant pissing into it. Inside the pond was floating decapitated heads. When I asked him WTF was this, he told me that the woman was his ex and the heads were all his kids. I asked why is she pissing on them, and he told me he has a piss fetish. Had a woman come into the shop one time way back who looked like she'd been in a tanning booth 8 days a week for the last 40+ years. She wanted to get her locked up man's name tattooed on her, but she wanted it down there. She convinced me to get one eye closer to her jukebox than I was comfortable with, and had me tattoo Billy Jack's pussy so far up in there that I think we are common law related now. Name slightly changed for anonymity. Best part is that a couple weeks later Billy Jack called me from prison. Tell me how much he loved the tattoo. It was a collect call too. God damn it. Thanks for bringing that memory back. I was almost over it. Lol. In prison I knew a guy with half his name scribbled backwards on his forehead. The only explanation I could come up with was he was tattooing himself in the mirror and halfway through realized it was coming out backwards to everyone, so called it quits. Girl had a dream about marrying a dolphin. She got a tattoo of her as a mermaid, rising from the water in an embrace with the dolphin. Halfway through, after hitting on me the whole time and telling me stories about an abusive ex, she started arguing about the color scheme and left with only the outline and some shading. I know a guy with a tattoo of the Queen getting fucked by a horse, that is getting rear-ended by Prince Harry. Safe to say the dude had issues. Edit. For the curious, https://imga.com/a/ndazi11. I'm a detox nurse. A patient had a dick tattooed on the back of his shin, so he could tell people he had addiction. Addiction. Not making that up, lol. The mentor I apprenticed under once put the word trust on someone's dick to pick up girls. Hey baby, can I put my trust in you? I was a piercer for a few years at a local shop. During my first year of my apprenticeship we had a younger 20-something male who had come in to get his forehead tattooed. I handled majority of the paperwork for the tattoo artists at the time as well, and he had requested the word Fuba to be done. He went back into the booth with the artist at the time and was told to come back the next day after he slept on it because you know, it's permanent and we wanted to make sure he was 100% certain. To all our dismay, he returned the next day to proceed with the tattoo. He had told us while getting tattooed that it was payback to his mother for favoring his older brother their whole life and he wanted to return the favor of how much she fucked up his life. I'll never forget the smile on his face as he walked out the door. I once tattooed nipples on a guy's butt cheeks, so his ass would look like tits. My tattoo artist told me he made a snake out of a guy's dick. Scales covering the whole thing. Different strokes for different folks. Pretty gnarly. My brother lost a bet in a frat house. Had to get a tattoo of a ladder on his rear end going towards his anus. My uncle had tattooed on his penis high doc after his numerous after-shore leave to get his penicillin shots. Tattooed a Jack Skellington head the size of a dinner plate on a girl's lower back. Tried to talk her out of it cause she was young and tiny but she insisted. I feel lachrymose. Not a tattoo artist, but my son has the entry stamp from his favorite nightclub tattooed on his forearm. It got him free entry for a full week before his friend stole the club's stamp. And they bought a new, different stamp. A zombie wearing a purple basketball jersey hacking a guy's arm off and vomiting. The guy's also vomiting up at the zombie and the streams of the two are meeting in the middle. I've also done a cartoon fish being choked by another fish's poo. The choking fish is trying to unravel the poo, At the top of this sleeve there's a first holding an aquarium net. To cross joints over a Jamaican flag and the smoke forms the date of the first time he smoked weed on a cruise with his parents. My friend has a tattoo on his calf of a sperm whale with a throbbing cock coming, and under the tattoo it says "You're welcome." My wife knew someone in school who was in a big hurry to get their first tattoo, and it turned out it was of a surfing pig.